Welcome to the Man United Agenda. Today we will be talking about the player ratings for West Ham versus Man United. Hello everyone, welcome to the Man United Agenda. I'm Maiza and with me today it's Talk. Hey Talk, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Hope you're all right.
I'm all well, thank you. So we played West Ham yesterday away. We had that 2-1 win. What did you think of the game?
I thought it was a good game for us, to be fair. I think it was one of our best games of the season so far. The way we totally dominated the game. There's no two ways about that. And, I mean, West Ham huffed and puffed. Had a couple of half-decent chances, to be fair to them. The goal, it's just an unlucky deflection. You can't do nothing about that. But on the whole, I was really pleased.
Yeah, I was extremely happy with the performance as well. I think it would have been a whole different kind of performance though if Antonio was actually playing for West Ham. But knowing that he wasn't, it was that a little bit more of that boost, and they didn't do their bit in the final third, whereas we did put our chances away when we needed to, like obviously with Ronaldo and Jesse Lingard. All I can say is, wow, what a goal from Jesse Lingard.
Wow, I mean, the goal from him. I mean, just going back to the Antonio thing, you know what? We just you never know, do you? Once something like a game has been played and there's such a player's missing and blah blah, and you get a result, it's always you can always say but what if. But I mean, even if he would have been on the team sheet, to be honest with you, I would still put us favourites to win that game. I really would, just because of the amount of goal scorers that we've got in the game. In the team, and that's at the end of the day, West Ham. How many goal scorers have they got? Not a lot. So I would always put us in front. But, Jesse Lingardinho. I mean, do you know what? If you listen to the watch along, I'm explaining what's happening. I'm like, I think it might have been Matic or whatever who put a pass in. And I'm thinking it was Jadon Sancho because I'm watching it on my phone because I couldn't get it on my tablet because the tablet, for whatever reason, it just the wheel of uncertainty just spinning round. So I was like, right, I'll watch it on my phone. Anyway, I'm watching it and I truly thought it was Sancho, and I'm like, Sancho, and I'm like, it's Sancho scored. And I ran off to the front window. I always do that. I don't know why I do that. It's strange, but anyway, ran off and then come back and then I'm like looking and I see Lingard with his arms up and down. And I was like, oh no, it was Lingard. Sorry, and Mr. B was like he couldn't believe he'd scored. But Jesse Lingard, do you know what? Like I said yesterday with the David De Gea thing, picking up the game. Everybody's picking up the game. Fred picking up his game. Fred was excellent for us, by the way, yesterday. Don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to have anyone try to convince me that Fred wasn't good, because he was. All right, we'll come to that later. But you know what? If Jesse Lingard, if he gets this new contract signed, in my opinion, which we need to do because we're protecting our investment in him. So we need to invest in him to protect our investment, if you know what I'm saying. So that when January comes and West Ham are crying out for a player, if we still then feel that options, will we let him go, even though, contracts, when there's certain specifications in there, they don't really mean that much. So it could be a make wait for us to sign Declan Rice in the summer, or try and make a movement in January. But either way, I think he's got to be signed up.
I think the bit where I celebrated the most was David De Gea, because when we had that penalty, like West Ham got that penalty at the last minute, I thought, oh my God, what is going on here? I was like, and then you've got Mark Noble coming on, ready to take the penalty. I was like, Oh,
Yeah.
how have we got rid of this 3 points? I was so devastated. And then when De Gea saved, I was like, what? He saved his first penalty, and I was honestly celebrating around the room, just screaming like, "Oh my god, David De Gea scored! He saved that penalty!" I was so happy about it. Honestly, I was like, "Yes, we've got them 3 points." I was literally like typing on Twitter like, "Oh my god, David De Gea saved the penalty! I'm well happy." And then I spelled "saved" wrong by accident because I was that happy. I was celebrating that much.
Yeah, listen, I was listening to, I can't remember, somebody, I think it might have been Matt, might have been on, and obviously with Mr. B, and I think, I don't know who was ahead of me. Somebody was ahead of me, and I was like, yeah, no, listen, I'm going to mute you, and I'm putting my hand up to the screen so I can't see it. So I turned sideways, muted them so I couldn't hear them, and I've got my hand up so I couldn't see the screen. I'm watching it, and I see Mark Noble. I'm like, oh, please put it wide, And I didn't have any thought that David De Gea might save it. I just thought it's a penalty. It's it's very difficult to save penalties. Anyway, couldn't believe it. It was meant to be.
It was absolutely incredible. All the players have just been amazing yesterday, and games like this, it just shows that we are actually doing better compared to last season. And then when you see obviously other performances, you do think otherwise. But when you look at yesterday's game, you think the team is improving overall. Like you said, with Fred's overall game is playing good. David De Gea, now he's got that bit of more solid centre back in front of him. It's like his overall game's been a lot better compared to last season. And we've got Ronaldo, who's that big massive boost. We've got Pogba, who I think is playing his best ever season at Manchester United so far as well.
Yeah, I mean, and they also you look at the changes. From my point of view, at first I thought the negative change was when he brought Matic on, but then I said to Mr. B, because I was saying, whoa, I think me and Mr. B were both thinking, oh no, he's going to try and see the draw out, and I was like going, hold on, if Matic just come on with the instruction here to get forward, then I think we'll be all right, because Matic, we know he can play the ball. Anyway, as soon as Matic come on, where did he go? He was at the first opportunity. He was right out there on the left-hand side of the midfield. I'm like, whoa! Now then, we've got a chance. And I think it was actually him who started the move off that led to Lingard's goal.
Yeah, it was him who assisted. It was a quality ball, knowing that where Lingard was around the West Ham players, because I think there were several West Ham players around him, and he managed to squeeze in the ball to Jesse Lingard, and Jesse Lingard took his shot and he got it.
Yeah. So it was a clever move that from Ollie, because when you think about it, you're bringing on a player there in Matic, so much experience, and also with the amount of time that he had to play on the pitch, he got plenty enough legs to go up and down if he have needed to for the last. I can't remember what time he brought him on, but anyway, there wasn't that much left in time. So Matic could have been up and down for that last part of that game. But for me, like I said, I think it was the right changes to make in the game at the time, and it's Ollie maybe himself now is learning as well, because it's not just like the expectation from the fans has always been there, and the board, etc. But when the expectation level is raised by the introduction of a couple of signings, i.e. Varane and Ronaldo, that then like I said this before the game last week at some point, I said this is where now the coaching staff and everybody else have to raise their game now, and it looks to me that's what's happening here. There's the whole place has been so like lifted up by not just Ronaldo but by Sancho as well, and Rafael Varane, because it's there's a belief there, and once you get belief in a team that has got the winning mentality, who know what it means to win, because as a team and a club, Ronaldo knows what it means to win. What's his name? Varane knows what it means to win. There's other players there who've got some experience of winning stuff as well. So it's all going really, really well at the moment.
I agree. So we're going to do some player ratings for yesterday's game. So before we do that, we'll go through some of these comments, because we've got a couple of comments here.
Excellent.
Great, big up to Football United TV. Thank you for tuning in. Whoops, yes, peeps. Big up as well to Solo. Thank you for
Yes.
letting me on today.
Big up Solo.
Big up to you too, Queen. Thank you for tuning in. Football United TV, Sancho laughing faces via Jesse Lingard because you thought it was Sancho. I was ahead, ha ha ha. What rhymes with noble? Woeful.
Yeah, it was a shocking penalty, but you know what? De Gea, you got to give him all the credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
All the credit.
Come on, United evening. All a good evening to you too. Thank you for tuning in.
Big up Shah. Big up Shah.
And Shah has also said, should Lingard be ahead of picking order for subs? What do you think about that?
Well, look, listen, I always say, you know what, you earn your right to play and you earn your right to get picked. And twice now, I think Lingard has proved, you know, that he's got from somewhere, you know, this. I think maybe with Lingard, I think it's always might have been a case of attitude and application. You know, talk about this when it comes to training. It also can be said for senior players as well. And I know he had some problems in his personal life, which are. Is only, you know, these players are only human like us. You have to remember that. Just because they got loads of money and blah blah doesn't mean that they're you know exempt from the daily struggles that we all go through in a mental capacity, relationship problems and blah. You know, they do. So, but maybe Jesse has now got himself in a really good place, and the stint at West Ham has maybe reminded him just of how good a player he really is. And that's if we're seeing that right now, then you know what? Yeah, for me. He's earned his right to get picked.
I agree completely. West Ham is just transformed. He's brought his confidence back. You can tell he's starting to love the game all over again as well. And when you see him coming on as a sub like yesterday versus West Ham, he's shown us fans, he's shown Ollie, he's shown the coaching staff what he is truly about for Manchester United and why he should be here at the club. Personally, for the West Ham game, maybe I might even start him for the Carabao Cup on what'll be on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was going to say that myself. I think he may well get a start. And you know what? Yeah, you're right there. What you say. I mean, you know, you got to think about him. He's now getting these minutes back in with the team. He knows all he's already said. He's part of my plans for the team going forward for the season. That's a big thing as a player when you're Man United, especially when you've brought in the likes of, you know, like I say, Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho. You've got Donny van de Beek on the bench, and then you're getting your minutes, and every time you come on, you're doing well. Jesse must be in a really great spot right now, mentally. You know, he's looking physically cut. He looks, you know, lean. He looks 100% fit. So I'd like to see him. Yeah, I'd like to see him start on Wednesday. To be fair, because there are going to be wholesale changes. There's no two ways about it. Plus, there will be changes for West Ham as well because they've not got the squad to, you know, risk sort of losing anybody to injury or, you know, in chasing a cup. I mean, as good as the Carabao Cup is, you know, it's a cup. I know it's a trophy, blah blah. But at the end of the day, you know, you want to when you're in West Ham's position right now, where he's got this team rolling. The last thing he needs is for somebody to be putting the brakes on and he have to start again. It's a lot harder for teams like West Ham, I believe, and managers like David Moyes to get back to that full speed that they're at the moment. So it'll still be an interesting game though, and I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm just as excited to watch the Man United game versus West Ham again, and this time it's going to be at home. We'll go through these player ratings now. We're going to do it through tier maker. We've got to firstly start with our goalkeeper, De Gea, of course. And for everyone who is in the live chat, please also say your opinion on what you think each player should be rated who did start for Manchester United and who was also as a sub. We'll go one by one on the squad and then we'll go to the subs at the end. For me, I would put De Gea as a 9. What do you think about that talk? Would you agree with a 9?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be up there on it, to be fair. I mean, it's possible choice for man of the match. But I would definitely be putting him up there, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I may even stretch it to a 10, but you know what? I'll go along with you and go 9. I'll go 9 for David De Gea. It's still a good score, that.
Yeah, I would have. The only reason why it wasn't a 10 for me, it was just more of the goal because it was we conceded a goal. Otherwise, he would have got that 10 for me, especially knowing he saved the penalty. But it was either a 9 or a 10 for me. But I thought a solid 9 is definitely the correct score for David De Gea in my eyes. Saving that penalty, he won us that game, and I'm honestly so happy for him. And it probably as well also boosted his confidence in saving penalties too.
Yeah, of course, it's a confidence boost for everybody. I mean, the goal, he was going in the right direction, but it was that terrible deflection. And you know what? Yeah, it happens in football games. You know, it happens to the best teams in the world. So it's happened to us many times, and we are the best team in the world. So I ain't bothered. Simple.
The next person is Wan-Bissaka. What was you thinking for Wan-Bissaka? What would you give Wan-Bissaka?
Do you know what? I think he did okay in the game, to be honest with you. I thought he had a decent game. It was just that moment where how on earth we didn't give a penalty away. I have no idea. I was thinking, oh my God, what has he done? And I had my hand up on my head. I'm like, oh my God, any second now the ref's going to go VAR. He's going to put his finger to his ear, put his hand up to say, whoa, wait a minute. But nothing. You just give it as a free kick to us. I'm like, what? We got away with one there.
It was good. Look, very lucky, but at the same time, we should have got penalties as well. We was robbed out of 1-2 penalties also.
But what I would say about Wan-Bissaka is he was doing his best going forward as well as what he does at the back for us. You know, he had getting involved.
He had a shot.
Yeah, he was getting involved in the build-up play. He was providing an outlet over there on the right-hand side. So I think even though he had that mistake, I'm still going to give him a good 7. I think I'm going to give him a good 7.
I agree with you there completely. I had Wan-Bissaka as the same. I had him as a 7. There you go. Yep, I had him as a 7 also. And I had Varane also as a 7 as well because I thought he was solid in defence. It was just the same about that deflection. But I think overall he did have a very good game.
Yeah, I mean, Varane's class, man. It's like, you talk about Rolls Royces, man. You know, this guy is a Rolls Royce. There's no two ways about it. He's absolute quality. He never really gets flustered. I mean, you know what? Listen, there have been a couple of occasions where he might have been, not particularly in this game, but in a previous game as well. So he had them up. But when it's like just been caught half a yard. But listen, it's the pace of the Premier League. It's not like he's kind of like, you know, miles off and he's been spun and left for dead. You know, he's gonna, as each game he plays, he's going to get more and more used to the not just the pace, but the changing pace, because there's a new rhythm. There's a whole new rhythm that he has to get used to here, you know. And once he gets used to that, then he's going to be like unbeatable, in my opinion. He's going to be absolutely unbeatable. So yeah, I'll go along with you definitely on that one. He's got to get a 7 as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think Varane, he has adjusted quite well to the Premier League so far, because I know a lot of people, they actually thought he was going to flop in the Premier League because the Premier League is a whole different kind of kettle of fish, but he is adjusted well considering he's come from La Liga, and that's more of a free horse race, isn't it? Like, you got them 3 teams who are good and then you've just got the rest of them. But the Premier League, every single game, it is a hard game and you don't know what is going to happen at all.
But and you know, I remember it's mostly the rival fans being salty.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, you know what? Listen, you're telling me that one of the best defenders, like over the last sort of maybe 5-6 years in La Liga, is going to come to the Premier League and just be a flop? Are you crazy? Listen, if you're going to sort of think like that, then go. I would advise you to go and like start reading books about show jumping or something, because it's a lot easier to understand. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? It's the nonsense, absolute nonsense.
I had Maguire as the same as number 7 as well. If you think the same.
Yeah, he was solid, Maguire, wasn't he? Let's have it right. Listen, the thing is here as well that it's all right. I was talking about that he's going to learn from Varane, but let's have it right here as well. Don't take away from what Varane's going to learn from Harry Maguire. You know, like I said, when you're trying to get your fit into the new pace of a new league like that, you know, Harry Maguire, Varane is going to be learning from him as well. So it's a two-way thing here. It's not just like, Harry Maguire's some kind of, second-rate, defender, and he's just going to learn loads of stuff overnight off like Rafael Varane. No, this is a two-way thing here. They're going to both learn from each other, in my opinion, and that's only a great thing for the club.
Yeah, they're both absolutely solid as the centre-back partnership. I do love them both together, and they're both just going to learn off each other. And you can tell, like, even when Varane first came, Maguire looked so excited, didn't he, on the pitches and training?
Yeah. I mean, it must be a great, imagine you put yourself in that position. All right, listen, I'm not here to slate any players and all blah blah. But out of Lindelof and Bayer, for me, if I had to pick one, what I'm picking? I'm picking Bayer. Because he's tenacious, he's aggressive, he doesn't mess about. It's just his injury woes.
He's just so injury prone, isn't he?
Yeah,
and that is the only problem. I love Bailly as well. I think he's a top centre back, and it's just a shame on his injury problems.
Yeah, and Lindelof, you know what? Yeah, there's a player in there, but he's just, for me, excuse me, I think he's just a little bit kind of. He's a bit weak when it comes to one-on-one situations. He's easily bullied. He's not strong enough in that department. So I would always pick Bayer. But when Harry Maguire, you've been playing with those two, where it's been the onus has been more on you. You're the £80 million defender and all that nonsense, blah blah. Which, by the way, let's have it right. Price tags mean absolutely nothing. So just throw that right in the bin. Right, but then all of a sudden, then you get this guy, this Rafael Varane, who Harry Maguire will know all about. And then it's like, whoa, now then, this is it. And this is like you say, Maze, you bang on with what you said. Going forward now and the rest of this season, as them two play together more, they're only going to get better and better and better and better. And I can actually see another Ferdinand and Vidic combination being born here. We're in the early stages of it, and if we do get that towards the end of the season, where it's going to come to crunch time, they could be vital to what we're doing.
Yeah, 100%. What have you got for Shaw in terms of your player rating? What would you want to rate Shaw?
Right, let me just think. Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw was decent as well, I think, because he was up and down as well. He was providing and getting involved. He did all the corners, as we know. I just want to see a bit more, like taking few more risks in terms of putting the ball in early. But from both Shaw, all right, I know Aaron Wan-Bissaka isn't the best at that, but he can still do it. We have seen him do it. He can do it. So, but I would still give Shaw. I can't not give Shaw a 7 as well, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a solid defence overall. The only problem with me for Shaw was the penalty with his arm, but sometimes that just can't be helped at all.
Do you know what it is, Maisie, with that, right? It's about, like, when you play football like these guys do, day in, day out with training and blah, blah, then I know the thing about putting your arms down by the side, but it's a muscle memory thing. That
exactly.
When you played football all your life as a kid, you grow up into the adult that they are now. It's you use your arms. It's like you're balancing. That's your whole thing right there. So I don't really blame him, to be fair. I mean, you know what? It's unlucky, and the laws are there. And I knew as soon as I'd seen it, I knew that
penalty.
There's no way they're going to say no, it's not a penalty, because I knew it was, because that's the rules are. If your arms are in an unnatural position, then bang. Same can be said for Quickly. Same can be said for Brighton's penalty against Leicester. I can't remember which way around it was.
Leicester had the penalty. I think it was Leicester. No, it was Brighton who had the penalty. Maupay took it.
And it was because it was headed onto the arm of Vestergaard. Is that right?
I believe so.
And that in itself, you look at Vestergaard's position and his body shape. It's like a natural thing, because he's going down in his arm. You go, hey, whoa, because you're going back. I think he was going backwards, but also his knees were bending, so he's going down. And as you do that, your arm, because you're like, whoa, your arms go up. And at the end of the day, it's an unusual rule, but I think to simplify it, it just has to stay that way. if it hits your hand, it hits your hand. It's a penalty. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, we'll quickly go through the comments, see what people think for the defence and David De Gea. Andre MUFC, just give everyone a 10, except for Fred, give him 1. It was offside. Kerry has said, I don't think Varane will be learning anything from him. He has had Sergio Ramos next to him in Real Madrid.
Hold on. Just go back a second. Let's just get
who?
To the last comment.
Okay.
So I don't think Varane will be learning anything from. Right, hold on a minute. Listen, if we're talking about La Liga, if Harry Maguire was in La Liga, right, then I would 100% agree with you. But he's not. He's coming to the Premier League. Now, you're telling me that you're bringing a player in from a foreign league that is the Premier League is alien to them, and you're putting them into a team next to a player who's got a lot of experience in that league. Are you telling me that then he's not going to learn something of it? Of course he is. He's just, I can't buy that. I'm afraid I just can't buy that. It's a nonsense.
King Tony, big up to Legends Talk and Mazer, big up to you as well, Talk.
Big up to Tony.
Anthony has said, big up, Talk. I know you've got West Ham in the Cup Wednesday, but how do you think you'll get on against Villa in the weekend?
I don't know. We need to do it. We're going to do a Villa. We're going to do a preview to Villa, aren't we? So, you know what? When we get to that stage, and now's not the moment to talk about that game, but we will do a preview to that. So keep your eyes out for that.
And King Tony, for United, will lucky myself. Sure, that stupid handball. He has gone downhill from the Euros. Done with Moyes bringing on Noble, who hadn't warmed up, only took a poor pen good on De Gea. And he has also said Lingard scored a world redemption for him. I completely agree. It was good for Jesse Lingard to get that goal. We will now go on to the midfield. We have got first McTominay. I put McTominay also as a 7. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't do anything truly wrong for me, McTominay, from what I can remember. So it's quite. Yeah. That's why I thought to put him as a 7, because I thought he was pretty solid. I didn't think he'd done really that much wrong for me, and I was the same for Fred.
Yeah, he didn't really do that much that I can remember. So he's just had a steady game. So yeah, I'll agree with you on that, because there's nothing that's standing out to me in my mind, you know. So I'll go with that. Yeah,
I think Fred, both of them played well together, and I know a lot of people are not quite a fan of Mick Fred, but I think they did play well together against West Ham.
Well, for me, Fred was the better one, was the better out of the two, and I don't understand people who are giving Fred a hard time from that game. I don't get it, because I mean, he was the one who was supposed to be, you know, the one to hold, to be the deeper player, obviously, because Scott McTominay used to be a striker, so he's the one you're more inclined to give him the nod to go forward. You know, you want McTominay going forward and carrying the ball, not Fred. You know, Fred is the busy bee. He works at the back. He does his thing, and he did it really well yesterday. In my opinion, I mean, if you watch him, you just go back and watch it and look at him. You know, he made some really great passes. He's getting some really good positions. He's getting in there to break the play up. He missed. All right, he gave the ball away, I think, once or twice. But you know what? Players give the ball away, you know, and I think I did see an improvement in Fred's game. So I'm going to go an 8 for Fred.
Yeah, I think Fred, for this game and for young boys, he has truly stood out for me, and I think he has improved. I think under Ollie, he has improved his overall game. I know there has been some times where he hasn't played the best, but then when you do look at games, like when you see him against like Man City for one, he does have a really solid performance. I think when he has that clear instruction what to do, he's a good player overall, and I think these last 2 games especially stood out for me.
Do you know what I like about Fred? Right, I'll tell you what I really like about Fred he's not bothered about what people think. He's not bothered. He's got pressure on him. He knows the fans, you know. Of course he knows. You know what? But he wants to come out and prove a point. He wants to prove to the. And for me, I would rather see a player in the team who is like, you know, wanting to come in and give what 100% energy, commitment, work rate, blah blah, but also at the same time, he's improving. I would rather take that than a player who might have a good game here or might have a good game there. You know what I mean? I want a player that goes in there every week in, week out, giving 100%. Now, again, if he sort of drops off again in the next couple of games, especially in the league, and it starts going to, crap again, then obviously there's a different conversation that needs to be had. But like I say with you, I can see a steady improvement in Fred. And yesterday was one of his best games for a while, in my opinion.
I completely agree. We've got Amanda here. Love the graphic dyes. Great win yesterday. A bit generous with the scores. What scores What scores do you think we should give?
Monday. Monday's a taskmaster. He's harsh, man. On Monday, I'm only joking. On Monday.
King Tony has said, Fred, both a solid 7. And we've got Mr. B here. Hi, Mr. B. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, my partner in crime on the watch along, Mr. B. Big up, bro.
King Tony said, De Gea 8 for saving the pen. Had no chance with the deflected goal. And, hit the subscribe button as well. Thank you, everyone. We will go now on to our attacking players. And we'll start first with Greenwood. For me, Greenwood didn't really put that step wrong for me. I had Greenwood as a 7. If you think the same, Talk.
Yeah, Greenwood was putting himself about. You got to try and work the space up there. To provide options for passes and stuff. And that's what I like about Greenwood is he'll always work hard to find space and to good movement, and that's all sort of helping him in his game development. So, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I can't remember him doing anything outrageous.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I'll go along with what you say there, Maisie, 100%.
Yeah, he's a good little player, Greenwood, and I can't wait to see him more. He's had loads of opportunities so far this season, and it's going really well for him. And as I thought it was going to be a breakaway season this season, and it looks like it's going to be that point. It is going to be a breakaway season for him. I do enjoy watching Greenwood. It's an absolute pleasure to watch. We've got now Bruno Fernandes as well. I had Bruno Fernandes as an 8. I thought Bruno Fernandes had a really good game. I love his link up with Ronaldo as well. I think he was quality yesterday. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I like the way as well that he was doing what on Monday he was wanting to see. I think he was dropping a bit deeper as well a lot of times, which is exactly what you want to see with Bruno Fernandes, because he's a creator. He creates. He works the space well. He always finds space. You get the ball to him, and he'll find a pass. So for the link up as well with Ronaldo, I'll definitely go along with that. Definitely.
An 8, perfect. And Pogba, I had him as a 7. I think he didn't really do much wrong, but I didn't see too much of Pogba. So I thought of a 7 because I didn't feel like he had that much. He didn't have any kind of foot wrong. What do you think about Pogba for a 7?
Yeah, I mean, I might have to give Pogba a little bit more just because he was really putting himself about. It really was. He was putting himself about all over the shop. He's really trying hard, and I like the attitude that I see from Pogba right now. He's really trying hard. He wants to. He's a proper team player. He's playing for the badge. I think he's in a good headspace as well at the moment. I think I can see a new contract coming. If I'm honest with you, I don't see him moving.
Hope so.
I don't see him moving. Not now. I think there's far too much going on at OT for him to want to turn his back on what we're doing right now. I mean, I'm sure that we can come up with a better improved contract offer for him. To keep him at the club for another 2, maybe 3 seasons. That's all we need, really. Let's have it right. Because we've got some great talent coming through. There are other players also around the world that we're looking at who are in the sort of stages of progression as well. So we only need, we need to sign him up for another 2 or 3 seasons. And but I do believe that's going to happen. But like I say, I would have given Pogba, just because of his commitment and his work rate, etc. I would probably have got to give him an 8.
Mhm.
So you're the boss.
We'll put Pogba as an 8. I do think it is definitely his best season so far at Manchester United, and I do definitely see a new contract coming. Fingers crossed it will be by January. We'll get that new contract signed. In terms of Ronaldo, I couldn't score him anything less than a 9 because for Ronaldo, for me, he got that goal. He was all over the show. He was helping us defensively, helping us in midfield. He was there when we needed to for the attack. So I couldn't rate him any less than a 9, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, and let's have it right. We were robbed. The first and third penalties were a stonewall. The second one I ain't so sure, but the first one and the third one, get a grip, mate. Get a grip. How could you not see that? Does it matter if it does not matter if Cristiano Ronaldo was, like already leaning forward or blah blah whatever? No, you cannot put your legs across a player without getting the ball and then just whap your arms up as if to say, I didn't touch him. You've touched him. You've brought him down. It's a penalty, 100%. The third one, was it Zuma?
Yeah, with Kurt Zuma, yeah. And I thought that was a blatant penalty.
Of course it was. But you know what? Listen, as the great man himself says, Sir Alex Ferguson, right? Mm-hmm. How many of you rival fans can call your manager Sir? Only I think Liverpool, right? But you win. This will even itself out. This will balance itself out over the season. We lost 2 yesterday, in my opinion, but we'll gain them back somewhere else where it might be a little bit soft, but we'll get it. So you know what? I ain't too bothered.
Mm-hmm.
But giving Ronaldo a score, yeah, I'll go with a 9 all day long.
100%. We'll go through what the comments said as well for our attacking players. Hello, guys. Hello to you too. Thank you for tuning in.
All the way from Malaysia there. Lakiko's from, I think he's from, is it Ghana? Not Ghana. Nigeria, maybe, I think. But he lives in Malaysia. So big up to Lakiko.
Big up to you. King Tony has said Greenwood 5 didn't do enough for me. Shah has said Ronaldo and Greenwood partnership looked good. It did look great, and I enjoyed him and Cavani last season as well. There was another good partnership. King Tony Fernandez 7. Shah has also said Ronaldo even dropped deep, making others rethink their defensive responsibilities. Pogba has said 6 as well. Shah has said Pogba playing better, similar to his qualities before his injury last season, which didn't quite run off. And Amanda has said, yes, Meza, Pogba is on it this season. And Anthony, why is people saying Fred was man of the match? I think Fred had a truly brilliant game. For me, he wasn't my man of the match. I thought it was De Gea who was my man of the match, but he did have an amazing game, Fred, and you can't knock for him having a great game.
Yeah, I'll ask you this, right, as Man United fans. Take Fred out of that game yesterday, right? Do we come out of that game 2-1? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. So for me, Fred, it was a good game for Fred, and I don't care. And people can say what they like. My opinion is it was a good game for Fred. When people have their own opinions, that's fine. That's up to them. But at the end of the day, that's just what I think.
Mm-hmm. I thought with Matic for the player ratings, I thought he deserved an 8. I think that assist was absolutely beautiful. I thought he was a great, useful sub. When I looked back at the assist and how he went past them. Like about 4 minutes to give it to Dad, I thought that was absolutely superb. He was going forward. I quite liked how Matic impacted the game. So for me, he deserved an 8.
Yeah, 100%. I would agree. It was a good move by Ollie because, like I said at the time, you know what? If he's come on here with the instructions to get forward at every opportunity, which he obviously did, because as soon as he came on, we got the ball and whoosh, he was going forward, like getting right up there on the edge of the box and blah blah. So, yeah, it was a great move by Ollie. And when you do that, you put a player like Matic who's got lots and lots of experience. He's got trophies under his belt and everything else. You go into a moment in that game where the opposition are on the back foot. You've got them in a good place where you can create some chances to get a goal. That's a great move by Ollie to do that. So it was, yeah, I'll give him an 8 all day.
Mm-hmm. And I put Lingard as the same. I put him as an 8, another useful sub. He played well for me, got that wonder ball. It was absolutely incredible, and I think that does boost his confidence as a Manchester United player. So for me, I would have also gave Jesse Lingard an 8.
Yeah, I mean, it totally makes up for the what happened in Switzerland, say no more. But this is the thing. This is what I'm saying about players: is he didn't really have any time to learn or anything in that game against Young Boys. To be fair to him, however, look at the response that you get. Ollie has said, "No, I'm gonna give you another opportunity," because bang, he comes on, boom, 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 and wallop, absolute world.
He took him.
So, 100%, I will definitely give him an 8.
And we've got the final player. It was Sancho. For me, when Sancho came on, he wasn't as useful as Lingard. He wasn't as useful as Matic. I give him either a 6 or a 7. So, what do you think? What would you give Sancho?
Yeah. I mean, listen, there's no two ways about it. There's going to be a lot more to come from Sancho, but I want to see it like now. I want to see it now. I want to see it now, and I'm still waiting because we haven't seen anywhere near what he's capable of. So, you know what? He's a little bit inhibited at the moment, whether it be the pressure of the shirt, whether it be the pressure of the fans, whatever, but there's something holding him back just at the moment. But I'm hoping that this is not another case of it just doesn't work out for Jadon Sancho at Manchester United, because as we've seen many times with players, Diego Forlan, great example. He didn't have the greatest of times at Man United, did he? There's a lot of expectation on this young striker and blah, blah. Anyway, there's other players as well you could mention where it's not quite worked out, but then they go away somewhere else and boom, they become this, goal scoring machine or assist machine. So I just hope that isn't the case for Jadon Sancho. I think once he kind of pops, let's say that, I think that we'll actually see the Jadon Sancho that we know is in there.
What would you give Sancho for the ratings?
I mean, I'll go. I can't be harsh on him. He's got to go for 7. I can't put him any lower than that. It's got to be. I can't put just Jadon Sancho on his own.
No.
I can't. So it's got to be a 7.
Yeah. So we'll quickly go through the comments to see if anyone had anything for the subs as well. We had King Tony here, Cristiano Ronaldo 9. Man of the match, glimpses of the genius, although he tried to compens. He didn't try to compens, King Tony. Even if you look at the third one alone, it was a blatant penalty. No, Tony, don't say that.
I'll ask Tony. Hold on. Tony, let me ask you this. Tony. It's Brentford for top 4, last game of the season, and that's your team in that same position in the exact same challenges in the box. Are you telling me they're still not penalties? Of course you're not. Move on, Maisie.
Solo has said, Anthony, stop with this Fred talk. King Tony said, rest in peace to Jimmy Greaves. He did pass away yesterday, so rest in peace to Jimmy Greaves. He was an amazing player for Chelsea, Tottenham, and also England.
Yeah, great. Well, I remember I'll just quickly mention him because I remember watching him as a kid on Satan Greavesy and stuff. I can't remember how old I was, but I was very young. But I do remember it's just about. And you know what? Yeah, him and Ian St. John were fantastic. And there was something about Jimmy Greaves that just made me a bit like, like David Attenborough, that kind of comfort in whenever you hear him speak. You just felt at ease, and you just feel like, I don't know, maybe it was the childhood connection or whatever, but whenever I'd see clips of him on the telly, whenever they played in it, it'd be always the same kind of feeling. But you know what? Yeah, it's a big loss. Definitely a big loss.
King Tony said Matic 7, and he also said Sancho 5, and he said Lingard 8 for the worldie goal. Just make sure he doesn't do any more back passes. Very funny. But this is our player rating for Manchester United versus West Ham. Absolutely amazing game from the boys, and I can't wait to see them again in action on Wednesday. I'll wrap it up now here. Thank you for everyone who has tuned in today. Please go like and subscribe to Man United Agenda. Talk, where can we find you? You
can find me on Twitter at iTalkMU. You'll find me here on the Man United Agenda. You'll find me on Maze's channel, Devils United. So go and check that out as well. You'll find me on Football United TV, Rich Sports, everywhere, all over the shop. Just search me out, you'll find me.
Yeah, you can also find me here at Devils United. It's my channel, so if you do want to watch any more of my content, you can go and watch me through there. So that's where you can find me. And thank you everyone who has tuned in today, and it's goodbye for now.
Ciao.